What's going on, guys? So welcome back to the channel. If you can't tell, this is actually the same day as the last video that I filmed. So I was gonna say today, but so for this video we're going to be doing the fuel pump wiring and my relay and everything. And this kit that I bought is so simple that any one of you guys, including myself, because I've had people relay pumps for me. I relayed a pump one time, but I had some help. This is so worth the money because you literally don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is plug stuff in, and you got to wire one wire you have to crimp. That's it. You got to put a butt connector on it or whatever kind of connector you need to put on it. I'm gonna get away with just the charge harness that I made has a open wire with a connector on it already, so all I would have to do is run my power wire to the battery. So let me just get right into opening this, and I'll show you guys exactly how I'm gonna wire my relay and my fuel pump. And it's a really simple kit. It's the same company that I got my fuel line kit from, and it's from Jbtuned. And I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna show you how simple this little kit is that I got from them, and we're gonna start wiring it up. Alright, so this is the kit that I got from Jbtuned, and I'm gonna go through it quick and show you guys. There's literally 4 plugs on it and 4 things that I'm gonna show you what they do. So for starters, the main relay is in its own little waterproof box, and it has a fuse on it that auto resets. So if it ever like blows a fuse or anything, it'll auto reset by itself. So there's 4 things on here. So I guess I'm gonna start with this one. This already has the pin for your stock Honda ECU pin. This pin into the fuel pump signal from your ECU. So I'll tell you what pin it is on my 99 GSR, what pin it is, but this goes to your ECU to the stock fuel pump signal, and this is the only wire you have to cut and do anything to. You could tell them when you order it what you want to put it on and what you're going to do with it. Put whatever connector on here that you want, but I just left it open because I didn't know what I was going to do. But so this is direct power source from the battery. This gets grounded to the chassis anywhere. You could put it literally anywhere. It gets grounded to the chassis. This plug goes right to the fuse box. So anywhere in your fuse box, there's like 5 or 6 empty slots for a plug like this, and you want to put this to one that's on accessory. So it's not always drawing power. It's only when you flip the key on that this would give you power, and this is gonna trigger your relay. And the last thing is this goes to the fuel pump, and you already saw me put the fuel pump end of the wiring on the fuel pump in the hanger, and all this does is just plug straight into that, and then this gives you power to your fuel pump. I don't know if I explained that good where you guys could understand it, but if you just stick with me, I'm gonna get right to wiring this in. At the end, you're gonna see how easy this kit really is and where everything goes, because me just holding it up in front of the camera saying this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, it's not gonna be too easy to follow. So if you just stick with me till the end of the video, then you'll be able to see where everything actually goes. Alright, so we're gonna start this with the simple stuff first, and we're just gonna mount the relay. Alright, so I mounted the relay right here, the bolt holes for the stock ECU bracket, and started pulling this up to get underneath the car to start wiring the fuel pump wire. So instead of having the stock ground that's on the fuel pump hanger, this is the new ground for the fuel pump wiring. So if you look under here, that hole right there is already threaded for 10 millimeter Honda bolt. So I'm gonna run the harness through here. I'm gonna run this underneath the carpet right here and ground that plug right here just to that 10 millimeter bolt. But I'm gonna grind the paint off of that so that it gets a nice ground. And that's all I gotta do for that, to wire this all the way to the back to the fuel pump. See how it's all the way out back there already, and then I plug that right into the fuel pump, and then that part is done. So I sanded some of the paint off. So you can see there's bare metal right there. So now I'm just gonna put this ground right through there with just a 10mm bolt that I got from over here, and that should be all good for the ground for the whole harness. Alright, so I got the ground wire on and the harnesses ran underneath the carpet, and real quick I'm just gonna wipe this down because that shit's dirty. Like, come on, I know no one's ever gonna see underneath this plastic, but that's 100 times better. Alright, so this is all back together. The harness comes out right over there. So the next wire we're gonna do is this red one, and this one just goes straight to the battery. So I'm just gonna run it up through the firewall, hook it right up to the battery, and I'll show you guys once I get it up to the battery. Alright, so I ran that through the firewall, and that just gets connected to the positive terminal on the battery. And my charge harness that I had to make actually has an open spot right here. Strip this and crimp it in here. That's going to give us direct power from the battery to the fuel pump relay. So now the power wire to the battery is all set, and move on to the next plug. So now that the power wire is done to the wire to the battery, this is going to be our next one. So we got to wire this underneath the dash over to the fuse box. And I don't have a test light. I'm going to have to just pretty much wait for this until I can get one of those and figure out which one is switch power. But I'm going to wire this all over to the side. And then the last thing we have to do after that is wire this green one. We have to pin this green wire into the ECU to the fuel pump signal. Okay, so now that's wired all the way over to the fuse box. I didn't hook it up yet because I don't have a test light to know which one is switch power and which one isn't. But the next thing I have to do is hook up this green wire to the ECU. Okay, so right here you can see that I got the green signal wire that's got to go to the ECU. I basically just pinned it into the factory fuel pump signal wire from the OBD1 ECU. I did it right into the jumper harness. I depinned the factory fuel pump signal wire and just pinned this straight into it. It was really simple. So that's basically it for the whole fuel pump wiring and everything, and the fuel pump turns on. That's basically the last thing we had to do before we go to the dyno. So the next video hopefully will be the dyno session, and hopefully we don't have any issues, but you know how that goes, so we'll see. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good night.